She waited in the Dragon's Keep, in the highest room of the tallest tower, for her true love and true love's first kiss.
Oh, is this just going to be another traditional fairy tale movie that we've seen before?
Like that's ever gonna happen.
Wow, that is awesome.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
Shrek, directed by Andrew Appenson, and of course tells the story of the lovable green ogre Shrek, who just lives in isolation from the rest of the world, enjoys bathing in mud, terrorizing villagers, until one day he meets a talking donkey and has a host of fairy tale creatures show up in his swamp, and he goes to the devious Lord Farquaad to make a deal. If he can rescue the beautiful Princess Fiona from the Dragon's Keep, he will get his swamp back. But along the way, he never expected to actually have feelings for her. Now, I cannot believe it's been 15 years since the beloved green ogre who has become who put Dreamworks on the map, Shrek, is now 15 years old. Where did that time go? And with the announcement of a Shrek 5 coming in 2019, what better time than to review all 4 Shrek movies? Why I love Shrek, not just because it's completely nostalgic to me. I saw it, I mean, a lot as a kid, and who doesn't show their kids this film? It's that much of a cult classic. But before Shrek, DreamWorks did make some great movies like The Prince of Egypt, The Road to El Dorado, and Ants, but this film completely put them on the map and gave them total respect in the same league as Disney and Pixar. It is Disney and Pixar's greatest rival, I think, and not to mention the winner of the first ever Academy Award for Best Animated Feature. It launched the 3 sequels, the highest grossing animated franchise of all time to this date, not to mention countless TV movies and spin-off films, Puss in Boots for example, and of course Shrek is love, Shrek is life. But anyway, back to this movie. What makes Shrek such an original and brilliant film is that it's a fairy tale that's never been done before. I mean, it's so much more interesting, deep, and more compelling than any Disney princess fairy tale I have ever seen. It's basically the Beauty and DreamWorks' Beauty and the Beast is how I call it, because Shrek is not what you'd expect as a protagonist. One thing, he's an ogre, which you'd expect to be the antagonist, he's completely isolated himself from the rest of the world. He lives on his own, but he loves it. He loves bathing in the mud, terrorizing the villagers and being feared. But deep down, he is a good guy. He does feel lonely, and he does need friends and someone to love, and which is what Donkey and Fiona are there for. They help him become a better person, and Shrek does get pissed off and upset that people just judge him before they get to know him, which what makes him one of the best protagonists in any film. I am not kidding. I so related to him and felt sorry for him because of this. His introduction, the opening where he's reading the book which tells Fiona's story, and then he just tears the page off and uses it as toilet paper. That's just brilliant. That's giving a big middle finger to the traditional fairy tale and saying we can tell a better story. And his introduction is one of the best character introductions I have ever seen, as showing his everyday routine and his life without any narration. It's a brilliant example of showing us who Shrek is instead of telling us. And the comic relief character of the movie, Donkey, is just awesome. He puts most Disney comic relief characters to absolute shame. He's not just a dumb comic relief character that's just there. He actually is a very interesting character himself. He sees the good in Shrek when everyone else despises him, and just sticks with Shrek no matter what, and doesn't take shit from Shrek at the end when he really stands up for himself in hopes of resolving their conflict. And Donkey has just some of the best, most hilarious lines ever. like, I like a bit of parfait. Shrek and Donkey's friendship is brilliant because at first Shrek doesn't want anything to do with Donkey, but as the film goes on, Shrek realises he's never had a friend before and Donkey's here to help him. So it feels completely naturally earned. And Fiona, the leading lady, she is just awesome. She is so much better than most of the Disney princesses, easily. She not just a damsel in distress that has to be rescued from the tower. She is a complete badass. She can sing so loud she can make birds explode. In the Robin Hood scene, she completely lays waste to all of Robin Hood and his merry men. And just like Shrek, she's a very sympathetic character. She's going through the same conflicts because, of course, she was cursed. Whenever the sun goes down, she turns into an ogre, and just like Shrek, she considers herself ugly, and she has to learn by the end, just accept who she is, that she's beautiful and she shouldn't let people tell her she's not. And she has a more compelling story arc and more development than most princesses in the traditional fairy tales ever get. And I adore the Shrek and Fiona romance. It is so sweet and so well earned by the end. Even though they never intend to fall in love with each other, they gradually, as they spend time with each other and realise they have so much in common, they realise they belong together. Even Dragon is a great character. She's not just a boring, roaring monster. She's actually very cleverly written as a female dragon who falls in love with Donkey. That's absolutely hilarious. And that is such an original, brilliant idea. That shouldn't work, but it does. Her and the Donkey getting together at the end. Lord Farquaad, while he isn't in the movie much, he's still a great villain. He represents everything Shrek isn't. He's a handsome prince who's short. That's so funny that they made him a midget, but he's a complete dick. Oh, what a prick. He's everything Shrek isn't on the inside, and this guy would never get a girl. He's only marrying Fiona just so he can be king. He thinks of literally nobody but himself. The story is brilliant. It's a classic and original spin on the traditional fairy tale, and the pacing is just flawless, even though there is a lot of scenes of Shrek, Donkey and Fiona walking through the woods on their adventure. It's thankfully done in montages to really keep the pacing going, and the montages are hilarious too. And the opening is absolutely beautiful with the book opening and Shrek reading about Fiona, and that brilliantly ties into the main plot of the movie of him meeting and falling in love with Fiona and changing. He never expected that, and most scenes in the movie they never feel like filler, even when they are travelling through the woods, because it spends time developing the friendship between Shrek and Donkey and developing the romance between Shrek and Fiona, and they share great banter too. This film is a comedic marvel. I laughed at my arse off throughout it, and it has so many classic lines like, ogres are like onions, onions have layers, ogres have layers, and even the bridge scene is hilarious when Shrek, I'm looking down, Shrek, don't do that. Oh, I'm sorry, do what? Oh, this, oh, absolutely brilliant. And it's helped that Mike Myers and Eddie Murphy are top freaking notch comedians, and their chemistry and their lines blend perfectly together. And yeah, all of the voice cast do a terrific job. Mike Myers is Shrek. I love how he made Shrek Scottish, as his parents read him stories in English accents, and some of the humour is surprisingly really adult, maybe even too adult for kids, when Shrek's having a shower completely nude. Yeah, there are shots of Shrek's arse, and just when Lord Farquaad is looking at Fiona through the magic mirror, he actually gets a boner. I didn't notice that as a kid. I was legitimately in shock when I found that out. Why would they put jokes like that in a kids movie? I just thought, but that's what's great about Shrek. That's how ambitious it is. It's not afraid to have adult jokes. That's why it's aged so well. The animation still looks great today. Just like Toy Story launched Pixar's CGI animated movie, Shrek was the movie that fully launched DreamWorks CGI animation movies. The score by Harry Gwenson Williams is and John Powell is a masterpiece. It is one of the best, most beautiful scores I've ever heard in not just any DreamWorks movie, but in any animated movie. Whenever you hear that classic da da dun da dun dun, you know that's Shrek, and that's become the theme song for DreamWorks in general. And there are some such iconic scenes here, like the Bachelorette scene, the Welcome to Duloc, the Vice in the Ring, the Escape from the Dragon, all awesome scenes. People have complained that towards the end this movie gets predictable when Shrek and Fiona have to fall out and have that misunderstanding, and they mope because they know what's going to happen, but I think it's executed brilliantly here. I mean, Fiona believes she's not good enough for Shrek, although she wants to be with him, and Shrek obviously misunderstands. She thinks she's talking about him, and it's truly emotional stuff. And so when Shrek finally realizes she wasn't talking about him, he realizes, oh, she does love me. And when he breaks into the church and confesses his love for Fiona, it's so sweet. It's so uplifting, and it's great seeing Farquaad get his comeuppance getting eaten by dragon. And finally Shrek and Fiona kiss and break the spell permanently by having Fiona turn permanently ogre so she can be with him. And even if it wasn't the outcome Fiona hoped for, she learns to accept who she is, and even if she's an ogre, she's still beautiful. And that's a great message for anyone. Doesn't matter what you look like, you are who you are and you're beautiful, and don't let anyone tell you you're not. And the I'm a believer ending is so awesome. What a high note to end the movie. It's the resolution this movie deserves. Shrek and Fiona get married, Donkey and Dragon get together, and in case you haven't noticed by now, I love this movie. I think Shrek is a wonderful animated classic, and I could watch it again and again and never get tired of it. It's still one of my, and always will be, my favourite DreamWorks films, and it was so groundbreaking for its time, and still is. I give Shrek 5 stars out of 5. Well, I love you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and thank you all for watching, and stay tuned next time for my review of Shrek 2, which, spoiler alert, is even better. Well, and what do you think of Shrek? Please comment and let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. Please follow me on Twitter and on Google+, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, guys.